What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Early Edge. We wanted to get started and bring everyone in as we are a couple minutes late. Thanks for being patient. Mark Thomas, Moshe, Brad Morris, Mark M, Matt. Appreciate that. Hit the like button if you could. Larry, Sniper, Mike McClure. We've got a lot to talk about, but let's just take a look at how we did yesterday. Not a lot of picks on the recap screen because a lot of our picks were in the future. We had a couple of soccer picks from the Guru, which obviously haven't started yet, and we had some NFL Sunday picks as well. 1 for 2, not bad. I guess we'll take that, but we got to do better than that. We want to do better than 500. We're going to do it with you three. Larry, I got to ask you something, though, because later today on CBS Sports Network, you are on the 2 o'clock NFL preview show. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike McClure might be on that one as well. Tell us what we can expect at 2 o'clock on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, Will Brinson hosting, Mike, RJ, and I going game by game, giving out best bets, giving out teasers. The information, especially the info that RJ comes with, is truly unbelievable. I take notes myself while I'm on the show. So, yeah, check it out, 2 o'clock on the network.
Mike, I can't help but notice that Larry Hartstein took a shot at you. He said, especially RJ White's information. Your response?
Larry is slinging facts this morning. We all tune in when RJ is prepared for this. So I love it. You know, you've seen some people. There was one person I saw gave some feedback. They didn't like the fact that it was on Thursday. I actually like it because it gives RJ even more time to prepare. And that's when he's at his best here. So I really like Larry. I agree. I do tune in and really catch what RJ has to say because the guy is an absolute genius in the NFL.
Well, you're being humble because at 11 o'clock last Thursday, people really realized that how much they missed fantasy football today, DFS, with you, me, and Meg Shop. That is on in literally 55 minutes. We'll be doing that. And like you reminded everybody, and that's on the Fantasy Football Today YouTube channel, like you reminded everybody last week, and it came true, we don't just talk DFS. We're actually kind of filtering in props and stuff against the spread. There's so much knowledge that's going to be dropped at 11 o'clock today, so you're going to want to join us with that. Sniper, I haven't let you speak yet, and I know we all feel. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's because it's so football centric right now. Yeah. And Sniper, what's cool about what you're doing is that you still got baseball. We still got a long way to go in baseball. Yeah. And there's afternoon baseball today. So since we're starting a little late, why don't you get us started with 2 official picks that go this afternoon?
Yeah, and in fact, starting at about 1 o'clock Eastern here, we'll go right to Detroit. Remember on Tuesday, I said it was not an official play, but I talked about how awful the Rockies are on the road and how good the Tigers have been going right now. The Tigers won that game 11-0. I should have made it an official play. It was such an easy cash. They won 7-4 yesterday. We're going to go for a clean sweep on the run line here. Tigers on the run line. Tariq Skubal, American League Cy Young winner. Yes, I'm declaring him the winner right now. It's over. He's on the hill. The Tigers bullpen behind Skubal, even if he only goes 5 or 6 innings, because I do think that they're going to start limiting his innings down the stretch here if they can. Their bullpen is 6th in the majors in ERA, 2nd whip, a very, very good bullpen behind Skubal there. So I don't think the Rockies are going to score much. Look, they're 29th in road OPS away from Coors Field, 28th in road runs, 22-55 on the road. They're just an absolutely brutal road team. They would be last in almost everything on the road if it wasn't for the existence of the White Sox. And I think we all wish there was no such thing as the White Sox this season. Tigers are actually on the other end here, 20-8 in the last month. On the Rockies side, Ryan Feltner on the hill for them. He's actually not that bad on the road, so I would avoid a first 5 here in case it's something like 0-0 or 1-1. But I do expect the Tigers to pull away at some point and win by multiple runs. Also, going to stick with the RL for my man Buckets here. Astros on the run line in Houston. I know they've lost the first 2 games in that series to the A's, but that makes me love the Astros even more in this one, because there's going to be some evening out. The Astros are too good to get swept at home by the A's, even though the A's are not as bad as they have been in the past, especially right now. I like the Astros in this one by multiple runs anyway, but Mitch Spence on the hill for the A's, 5.09 road ERA. And the main thing here, Framber Valdez on the mound for the Astros. He's been brilliant at home this season, 2.46 home ERA, but that is largely driven by his last 3 starts. 7 scoreless innings in each of his last 3 starts. Yes, he has a 21-inning scoreless streak at home going right now, facing the A's. That's going to keep going. He dominated them earlier this year. A Houston bloodbath gets us home.
I mean, I love this. We have so much action this afternoon because I'm about to give out some 3 balls at the Procore Championship. We're gonna know how our day is going heading into Thursday night football. And of course, we have Thursday night football picks from the Maestro and Mike McClure coming up. Sniper, I gotta say, before you even gave out your picks, and maybe he caught this on SportsLine because he's a member of SportsLine, but Jason Pogwis said Framber and Skubal both to get W's today. So that's a different thing than the run line, right? And I don't know if that's like a bet that he's calling, but do you like that side of the bet as well with these pitchers recording a win?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess my only apprehension there would be that, like I said in the Tigers game, Feltner is actually pretty good on the road compared to being in Coors Field, and maybe it takes the Tigers offense a little bit to get going, but I do expect Skubal to be in long enough to have a lead, so I'm probably good with both of those as well.
All right, we've got picks from everybody. Moshi's got picks in here, Gipper's picks, a bunch of other picks. I'm sure Bradley Jacobs has some picks in here as well. If you want to make any of those picks or any of the picks you're about to hear, go to BetMGM. New BetMGM customers can sign up today and get up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just place your first wager of at least $10, and you'll receive up to $1,500 instantly if your bet loses with bonus code EDGE. That's bonus code EDGE, EDGE. Ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty more to get to, including a little bit of golf and a lot of Thursday night football, and we'll do it right after this message from our partners.
A Quiet Place Day 1 is now streaming on Paramount+. It's thrilling, terrifying. It will make your heart pound out of your chest. A Quiet Place Day 1, now streaming.
We're back on the early edge, presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Big Cheesy says Red Sox Yankees over 8.5. Can I just say, Sniper, as an Orioles fan, I was watching that game last night. Watched Jackson Holiday field a ground ball that, like me, never have playing baseball before. I feel like that's how I would have fielded it. And then, of course, maybe they would have lost anyway because it was a home run hit by Tyler O'Neill the very next at bat. But maybe they wouldn't have. I think everybody was rattled after he butchered that. But any thoughts on that over Yankees Red Sox?
Yankees offense is just so unreliable right now.
Mm-hmm.
Over's probably okay, but they're just so back and forth. I mean, they'll explode for like 10 runs one game and then hardly score the next games. It's just so hard to count on right now with them. And obviously the Red Sox are totally unreliable as well. And on your Orioles, it's one of those things where I think that they're probably in a place mentally where they feel like something's always going to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The second one thing goes wrong, then it just snowballs on them.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, let's move on to Thursday night football. And maybe, Sniper, if you want to dig up, because I know people are always asking a home run pop before the show closes, feel free to do that.
I'll take a look.
Mike, I'm looking at Thursday night football, and I've been really going back and forth on this one in terms of which side I want to back. I'm not going to make an official play on this one in terms of a side, but you are. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm on the Buffalo Bills here tonight, Sia. I made them -1.5 point favorites. I think they match up well with Miami still. I know it's difficult to always contain Tyreek Hill. He's someone that can really beat you in any given week, but I really like what I saw from the Bills, the way they responded after being down 17-3 in that game. I like some of the designed runs that I'm seeing from Josh Allen as well. I'm actually, after the show, I'll tweet out a video of it, but he is not necessarily, I know it's a small sample size in 1 week, but in years past, he would typically look to just initiate contact with the first defender he could. This year, it looks a little more nimble, a little more interested in juking, a little more truly designed run and less just flat out making plays. So I like that from Josh Allen, what I've seen here. And just catching the fact that this is a primetime game. Josh Allen is graded out as the best primetime quarterback in the NFL over the last few years. Tua definitely has not. And then the weather edge. You're going to look in this particular spot. When you see Miami games early in the season, that's typically where their home field advantage exists because the heat and the humidity, the way the stadium is oriented, you get the sun purposely on the opposing team. That's not a concern when we're talking primetime game like this. And we're going to have thunderstorms pregame, which is going to cool things off. Yes, it'll be humid still, certainly still a little bit of a factor, but I don't think the home field advantage for Miami is what it would be if this were a 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Kind of game. So I like this spot for Buffalo, and I think they're going to have the ability to move the football. It's all going to come down to the efficiency and can they contain Tyreek Hill. But when you're giving me points here in a game that I, again, think should be a pick 'em at worst, I'm going to take the Bills.
You're right about the weather advantage. I mean, it's to me, Mike, it's almost like cheating the way you said the word orient the stadium to have the sun on the opposing team for the first 4-6 weeks of the season when it's just brutally hot down there. Again, cheating. I'm being cavalier with my words here, but it's truly unfair. And we've seen it with the Bills specifically. I believe it was last year early in the season where they were kind of done. Fourth quarter, everybody's cramping up. Everybody needs an IV. And here the Dolphins are quite literally chilling in the shade. It's just, you're not going to get that at a night game. So I think that's a really important part of the analysis there. Now, Larry, I know you have a pick in this game too, but I got to give out my golf picks right here, right now, because Bitsy's in the chat. Bitsy says, Sia, keen. I love that you use the word keen here. Keen to hear your thoughts on first round 3 balls, Meisner over Cootie and Wilkinson. Well, what do we have here, Bitsy? There's so many 3 balls we can choose from, and that's one of 2 I chose from. I'm going with Matt Meisner. I like him because I gave out a top 40 pick on Matt Meisner. I like him in the outright market at like 50, 60 to 1, depending on where you get it. I can get him plus 100 over Pearson, Cootie, and Tim Wilkinson. I'll keep this one short. You all know I like Matt Meisner. I like the ball striking. The putter can come and go, but it's been pretty good lately. Pearson Cootie is the only one to worry about in this 3 ball because Tim Wilkinson's been playing very poor golf. Not really a big name on tour. Cootie can be good. In fact, I hit Cootie, I believe, was a first round leader at 60 to 1 just 2 months ago. With all of that said, Cootie is so hot with the putter. That does scare me, but his approach play is not very good. It's been actually quite bad over the last 4 or 5 tournaments, and I think that's where Matt Meisner gets him. If Matt Meisner is just decent with the putter and he can somewhat keep up with Cootie there, he is going to roll him in the ball striking department. So I like Matt Meisner plus 100 over Cootie and Wilkinson. The other one I like, CT Pan. And these 3 balls for some reason aren't everywhere, but they should be at most books. CT Pan minus 105 over Alejandro Tosti and Eric Barnes. Eric Barnes is the part of this leg that I don't think is really going to compete. And Tosti hasn't been playing that well lately. CT Pan, a really good course fit here. He'll probably keep it in the fairway. Typically good on approach. I like the ball striking from him. CT Pan minus 105 over Tosti and Eric Barnes. Larry, before we get to your pick, Mike, do you know how I know that the Matt Meisner pick is going to cash? And how he might actually win this entire tournament?
He shares my initials.
Not only that, well, that's actually true. I didn't think of that, but it's even more precise than you think because Mac is a sort of like a nickname. His birth given name is McClure. It's McClure Meisner. How about that?
Wow.
How does it cash, Mike?
I've got a new favorite player. I backed him before. I actually have profited on the guy. So I'll be sure to give him an invite to the family reunion.
There you go. McClure Meisner, no relation. Larry Hartstein, let's get back to Thursday Night Football. While I scan the chat, we see Joseph Rackett saying Josh Allen anytime touchdown at minus 110. I believe Mackenzie Brooks gave that one out yesterday. So I think we have some synergy there. But you like one Tyreek Hill, who Mike said he's a little bit afraid of in his Bills bet. What do you like from Tyreek?
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is my official play, and I'm also going to give out something I really like. But Tyreek Hill over 6.5 catches. This guy had 12 targets in week 1, just a couple hours after the incident with police. And now you have Raheem Mostert, who had 3 targets, and Devon Achane, a game time call. He had 7 targets. If he doesn't go, those are 10 targets to go around. And the Bills do not have Teron Johnson. They're starting nickelback. They still have Benford. They still have Rasul Douglas on the outside, but they move Tyreek Hill all around. He will run routes from the slot. I just love this to at least get 7 catches. To me, seems like a no-brainer in this game. So that's one play that I'm all over. Tyreek Hill over 6.5. On the other side, I want to look at Matt Collins over 1.5 catches. Josh Allen threw 23 times last week. Matt Collins ran 20 routes. He basically played as a starter, same kind of usage as Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. So to get 2 catches when the prop for Josh Allen is 33.5 pass attempts. Now, he may not get there, but the prop is 10 higher than what he threw last week, and we still got 2 catches from Matt Collins. So that's another one I'm looking at. Matt Collins over 1.5 catches. Again, I hope the weather cooperates. I hope we don't get a lot of storms, which could affect the passing game.
Yeah, interesting note there. Danny Brasco says, Larry, I want to kick this back to you. He says James Cook anytime touchdown at plus 150. And I know there were some people in the chat that liked Dalton Kincaid. Given that the strength of the Miami defense appears to be the corners on the outside, it does feel, especially in a Joe Brady offense, like potentially a James Cook and or Dalton Kincaid game more than anything. Do you agree with that?
Definitely think it should be a bounce back for Kincaid and James Cook. They're just their dedication to running him, even if it's not working. I mean, 19 carries, averaging 3.7 yards per carry in a game they trailed by 2 touchdowns, just shows how much they are going to be committed this year to running the ball.
All right, Kylie Reynolds, you asked Meisner over Brendan Todd. Actually, don't like that because I think Todd he's got good history here, pretty good course fit. That would be a stay away for me. I want to kick something to you, Mike, NFL related, but Sniper, any home run props we can consider?
Yes, and I'm sorry to my fellow Indiana boy, Ryan Pepio, starter for the Rays, who's from Indianapolis, and then he went to Butler University, as many people know, mostly from the NCAA basketball tournament. He can be home run prone to left-handed hitters. And the Guardians have the Naylor brothers and Jose Ramirez, who's obviously a switch hitter, but will be hitting lefty against the righty, who can hit a decent number of home runs at home against right-handers. So either the Naylor brothers or Jose Ramirez would be a decent home run play today.
All right, we got 2 home run plays there. Mike, I did want to ask you from a this is kind of like tailors into fantasy football today, DFS at 11 o'clock. We're going, you, me, Meg Schaup. We're going to touch on this Thursday night game at the end of the show, but of course we're covering the entire 13 game Sunday slate. Is there somebody sneaky? Maybe you haven't run your simulations yet, but when Larry said Mac Hollins, it did trigger something in me from like a first touchdown score standpoint, which I think I haven't even looked at the number. I think that's a decent play there, but is there anybody sort of sneaky that might be like lower priced in a showdown DFS where you think, hey, you could put this guy in your lineup because, and this transfers over to props too, a little bit too, like maybe gets a little bit more volume than people anticipate?
I honestly think it's the running game for Buffalo. So especially in the red zone, though, when you look again, I'm going to tweet something out after this. Josh Allen definitely has more design run and looking to have more design run here. I don't think they trust anyone in the passing game in the red zone. I think it's going to be Josh Allen run and pound the ball with James Cook and Ray Davis. So for me, it would be Ray Davis. I know very minimal carries last week, but I still think on a short week, they could give him a few additional carries. We talk about potentially teams wanting to run clock and not let the other quarterback touch the ball. In this case, I don't think they're afraid of Tua touching the ball. I think it's afraid of Tyreek Hill touching the ball. Mm-hmm. I personally think we see the Bills a lot like Kansas City. This team for Buffalo right now looks a lot like what we saw from Kansas City a couple years ago after Tyreek Hill left, with not having really solidified weapons. They're going to dink and dunk the ball down the field and try and take up half a quarter every time they touch the ball. So I see that a lot from Buffalo. So for me personally, I think Kincaid over the middle will be a good look. Mm-hmm. Keon Coleman was the first read for Josh Allen a lot. I don't think the first read's going to be there. I think that the other thing to keep in mind, Poyer went over from Buffalo to Miami, and I personally think the only reason Miami wanted him was to try and win these matchups. Otherwise, they would not have tried to get him there. So I think the first read will not be there. I think it's going to be the running game heavily, including Josh Allen.
That's just a little bite size offering of what you get at 2 o'clock on CBS Sports Network on the NFL preview show, what you're going to get on Fantasy Football Today DFS at 11 o'clock on the Fantasy Football Today YouTube channel. Absolutely love that I went to you there, Mike McClure. And then don't forget, because people are asking about I see you, Brian Smith. Anyone like a first touchdown play tonight? I just casually mentioned Mac Hollins, but of course it's 7:15 tonight. We're going to have the full complement of first touchdown scores. That's going to be the primetime breakdown for Thursday Night Football, Bills and Dolphins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the recap screen before we get you out of here. Let's see. We have recap screen, or maybe we don't have a recap screen. All right, so I'll just list it. Okay, it's loading. There we go. Okay, round 1, 3-ball. Mac Meisner plus 100. This one hasn't tipped off yet. This tournament just started 22 minutes ago. Mac Meisner plus 100 over Pearson Coody, Tim Wilkinson. Round 1, 3-ball. CT Pan minus 105 over Alejandro Tosti and Eric Barnes. Mike McClure on the Bills tonight plus 2.5 at minus 105. The Sniper. This is afternoon baseball, folks. Tigers minus 1.5. That's the run line. Minus 108. Astros minus 1.5. That's the run line. Minus 102. Larry Hartstein, Tyreek Hill over 6.5 receptions at minus 138. these picks, these Thursday night football picks, these baseball picks, you can find them on SportsLine. Go to sportsline.com/join. Type in the promo code winners. You get 60% off the annual plan. Now is the time to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, what a show. We've got so much more content. I don't think I'm saying goodbye to you this morning because we've got the 11 o'clock show coming up with me, Mike Makeshop. We've got the 2 o'clock show coming up with the NFL preview. You're going to see some of these guys as well. And then, of course, we have the 7:15 show for Thursday night football. So I guess it's just a little bit of bye for now. Thanks for being in the chat. On behalf of Debo helping us out on the ones and twos, the sniper, Larry Hartstein, Mike McClure, I'm the counselor of cash. You guys have been awesome. Please hit the like button if you could, and we'll see you very, very soon. Again, counselor of cash, this is the Early Edge. We rest our case.